Today marks a significant milestone for the EFF as the party celebrates its 13th anniversary while also launching its 2026 local government election manifesto. Since its formation in 2013, the Red Berets have established themselves as one of South Africa's most influential opposition parties, shaping debates on land reform, economic transformation, as well as youth unemployment. Today's manifesto launch is expected to outline, or rather did outline, the party's vision for municipalities ahead of the all-important 4th of November local government elections and provided insight into its strategy for expanding its electoral footprint. To help us unpack the significance of today's event and what it means for the EFF's future, we're now joined by political analyst Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast from the Nelson Mandela University. Professor, good to have you on the program this afternoon. So today marks 13 years since the EFF was founded. Firstly, how would you assess the party's evolution, but also its impact on South African politics over the past decade?
I think the party has had ups and downs. It started very well, though, by getting 6%. Talking about the first election that it participated in. That was 2014, did very well, and then doubled up the efforts by getting 12% in 2019. Even in 2021 at local government level. I think before that, actually, they participated at local government level in 2016, but at the time at which they had received seats at local government level, they did not want to join forces to constitute coalition formations. I mean, you remember that, but they were just king makers. Yeah. But of late, they've been dealt with the blow in a big way. We've seen, high-profile members of the EFF walking out of the party, which has affected the party as if, the center cannot hold it. But I think the speech of Malema is very interesting. He seems to understand issues of local government because he was talking about issues of privatization of services. I agree with him. That's why we have a shortage of water in many municipalities. So he understands that you have to have good leadership if you want to promote development at local government level. And he strikes me as a person also who understands local economic development and the IDP that each and every municipality has to have.
Dr. Breakfast, let's unpack that thought a bit more. The EFF has really positioned today's anniversary around its local government elections manifesto, like you say. But what message stood out, or what message is the party trying to send by combining these two events from what we're seeing?
I think it wants to celebrate in style. It does two things at once. One, it celebrates its existence. So that is on the one hand. On the other hand, it unveils a plan that will sell what it stands for in the upcoming local government elections, which is a good strategy. And also, I'm very much impressed by the turnout. It's very high, even though at a critical level, as you know, having a full stadium does not translate into votes. Sometimes at the polls. But I think it's a good psychological booster, though, that the party commands a great deal of support.
Let's take a snapshot leading up to the much important local government elections in November, but also looking at the EFF's performance in previous local government elections. What gains will it realistically be hoping to make, especially in this election?
Look, the EFF has not led, in my opinion, a municipality by itself without joining forces. So I think it desires at least to run municipalities by themselves, without joining forces, so that it can show people that it is up to scratch or it is capable of getting the job done. So I think it would want to win certain municipalities so that it can showcase what it is capable of.
Yeah. So the party has consistently campaigned on issues such as land reform, economic justice, and tackling inequality as well. Do these themes still resonate with voters, Prof, or are there new priorities emerging at local government level?
No, I think the issue of land, it does not fall under local government, in my opinion. But issues of inequality, unemployment, poverty, those issues are aligned to the local economic development plan, which is the baby of the IDP. The IDP is the institutional plan of any municipality,
Right.
5-year strategic plan, which is reviewed each and every year. And Malema, I think, understands those issues based on his articulation. I like the emphasis on outsourcing because when you look at data, it shows that since 1995, because that's when there was a restructuring at local government level, there has been an increase of outsourcing, which creates a scope for institutionalization of corruption.
Yeah.
So I like the idea that you have to absorb, the labor and make sure that you look after the welfare of your employees and have a local state that is capable of leading. You cannot outsource your responsibility as a local state by depending on the market forces, which has been the model of development, which has been used by many municipalities.
Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast, he's a political analyst from Nelson Mandela University. A big thank you for your time and sharing your insights with us this afternoon. And of course, we'll continue looking back at the EFF's 13th celebrations today and the manifesto launched throughout the day, bringing you the key announcements and some of the analysis as South Africa's local government election does gather pace, of course, in the lead up to that all-important 4th of November election.